everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Katie, and today I thought it would be fun to talk a little bit about writing. I feel like I haven't done a video about my writing in a long time, so yeah, today we're gonna do the authortube newbie tag. That was the most annoying thing that's ever left my mouth. I feel like I mentioned the fact that I write and my current book that I'm writing. I feel like I mention it offhandedly in some videos, and I just feel like this would be a really fun way to kind of introduce myself on this channel as a writer. I posted a writing vlog in January, I think, where I kind of sat down and explained a synopsis of my current project, but in this video I'm going to answer a few different questions relating to writing in general, and then also my book. I just thought it would be a good little get to know me. Not sure if I can still call myself a newbie. I have been posting for a few months now, but I think that's still new. I have compiled 7 questions for this video, so let's just kind of jump right in. Okay, so the first question is, how did you find out about authortube? I guess the answer to that is, I have been writing for a really long time. The next question is, how did I get started? So I'm not gonna spoil that yet, but I've been writing for a very long time, and I've also been watching YouTube for a very long time. I was on YouTube in the 2015, 2016 era. That's when I really got into YouTube, because I would have been 11, 12 years old in that era, and I really got into watching different YouTubers and stuff. And I think I just kind of found the writing niche because I would look up writing tips and stuff like that. So I've just always kind of known about authortube. Having a channel of my own was something that never really occurred to me when I was younger. Not an authortube channel. I had a YouTube channel in 2020 in the pandemic, but I privated all those videos, so you should not be able to find them. They're not bad, they're just really cringy. I was 15, I just didn't really have a niche on that channel. I just posted whatever I wanted, which was fun for the time because I was trapped inside it. It was fun to pretend to be a YouTuber basically. But yeah, I made this channel because I wanted to be a little bit more niche. I still don't want to be super niche, because where's the fun in that? You know what I mean? Where's the fun in making a bunch of the same videos over and over again? But for the most part, I do videos about writing and videos about books, so it's kind of niche. But I'm sure that I will film or have already posted some random videos that aren't in my niche, because I don't know, I just like filming videos, so I don't want to box myself in. Anyways, that was a really long-winded answer to how did you find out about authortube. Summary, I've always known about it. I'm an all-knowing being. Question number 2 is, when/how did you start writing? I know that earlier in this video I said that I had been writing for a really long time, but I just need you all to know, when I say a really long time, I mean a really long time. Let's see. I turned 20 this year, so I've probably been writing, meaning coming up with my own stories, for probably around 16, 17 years. I definitely have not been writing how I do it now, sit down, do a project, have a 3-act, 5-act structure, definitely not that level, but I've been writing for my entire life. I remember just literally the minute I could speak, I started coming up with my own stories and telling them to people, and then when I learned to write physically, that was a game changer for me. Started writing them down. So yeah, basically my entire life. Books and reading were a big part of my early childhood. I would have to ask to clarify, but I'm pretty sure my mom definitely read to me when I was literally in the hospital 15 minutes old. Like, you know, I think we used to read books every single night before bed, like ever since I can remember. And so I think pretty much ever since I can remember, I wanted to write my own books. I wanted to make up my own stuff. It was just so exciting and fun to me. And it also came really naturally to me, because I think like a lot of people grow up reading books and they don't write their own, but it's just really something that's always been important to me. I don't think I could stop writing if I tried. Like, it's not, so I don't make an active choice to do this. This was not a choice. Don't know if that's like obnoxious or whatever, but I don't feel like, to me, creating worlds and coming up with characters and writing stories, telling stories, that's not something that I choose to do. It's just something that I cannot help doing. Question number 3 is current projects, question mark. That's a loaded question, because what do you mean by current? Because at like any given moment in time, I have at least 10 stories going. You know what I mean? Like, that I'm kind of thinking about and brainstorming, and it's kind of on my mind. But to answer this question, I'm just gonna focus on what's my like main focus. I'll usually have one book that I'm like really focusing on, and then if I think of another idea, I'll let myself kind of brainstorm and like get out any ideas for that, but I'll still be focusing on the main one. I feel like it's unhealthy to not allow yourself to do other things, but still have to kind of like focus, you know what I mean? Because writing is not about passion, it's about determination. Is that a quote? Don't quote me on that, because I sounded really unsure when I said that. Anyways, my current focus is a little project called Gloom. I've been working on it for a year now. And by that I mean, I came up with the idea last like February. It's April when I'm filming this. So I came up with the idea, and then I had to put it aside because I was writing something else. But then I picked it back up in like September, October, and kind of did an outline and a plot, and then I started writing the first draft in December. I'm just over halfway done now. You know, hoped to be done by now, but it's just not really how life goes. Haven't really mentioned this before on this channel or online at all, but I am chronically ill, so I have a lot of bad days. So it's just like sometimes a whole week goes by and I just didn't write, it just didn't work. But you know, I'm doing my best. I'm halfway done. I have like a tracker on the wall. If you watch my writing vlogs, you know. I'm looking at my little paper number things. Yeah, I finished chapter 15 last week. There's 27 chapters in an epilogue, so I'll get there one day. Oh, Gloom. That's what I was talking about. Yeah, basically, elevator pitch. It sounds really boring when I elevator pitch it, but I'm just gonna do it. Technically, it's a contemporary fiction. Like if I was gonna be pretentious and have to class it in a genre, but it's a romance novel. I just can't call it that because there's not a happy ending, because I love sad things. And for your book to be classed, is that the right word? I don't know. For your book to be classed as a romance, it has to have a happy ending. So technically, I can't say that, but it has the plot of a contemporary romance novel, but there's not a happy ending. So kind of hard to pitch, but like, yeah, I'm just gonna call it a romance novel because who cares about the nuance of it all? Anyway, it's a romance novel, young adult romance novel, about a group of friends, childhood friends, who decide to form a band, like a musical band, to spend their last summer together before they all go to college. So they kind of start a band and play in their small town, and then turns out they're pretty good, and the word starts to get around about them, and you'll have to see what happens. I'm not gonna spoil it, but yeah. And then there's like romance in it as well. amongst bandmates, amongst people that they shouldn't be having relationships with. It's just really nice. It's a really, found family is a big trope in it. They all kind of have their own parental family issues, and then they come together in this band, and it's just, I love that little group of friends. They're just so cute. That's the short pitch. There's a lot of plot that happens. I swear it's interesting. It kind of just sounds boring, but I swear it's not boring, at least not to me. And what kind of made June Gloom special than my other writing projects is this is the first book that I actually kind of want to publish. Last year I wrote a this is a big jump, a big switch. I wrote a supernatural thriller horror last year. The jump to beachy rom-com is crazy, but again, I don't like to be put in a niche. That's what I said. Yeah, but I wrote a thriller just because I thought it would be fun. I don't know, I love like Halloween, and I love scary movies and scary books. I love a mystery, I love a thriller. So Halloween 2022 was when I came up with the idea for my thriller, and then I wrote it over the spring and summer of 2023. So that's like when I came up with June Gloom, I had to push it aside because I wanted to finish my thriller. And my thriller, I feel weird not giving it a title, but I don't want to give it a title because no one's ever gonna see that, so I don't want to put it out there. But the thriller was the first book I had ever completed writing, because when I was like in middle school and high school, I wrote for fun, you know, because I had a lot of stuff going on. I had school, I was in sports, like those were kind of like my responsibilities, the commitments. And then like I would come home and I would just be like, what do I want to write today? And I would just write something for fun. Like I had never sat down and dedicated my time to finishing a book, and it was a really interesting process. I think it really pushed me as a writer, because it's like there were 30 chapters in that book, and around like chapter like 16 I ran out of motivation, and it's like, oh my god, you have half left, like you have to keep going. Like that's where I learned, you know, my very profound quote of writing is not about passion, it's about dedication. Is that even what I said? I don't know, but the unsure tone is important, because you like don't really know if what you're saying makes any sense at all. That's where I learned that, where like if you're gonna write things for a living, you're not always going to feel thrilled by them. Because it took me from like April to August to finish the thriller, and like you're basically, if you're a writer, you know, when you're writing something, you are constantly thinking about it. Like yes, you may write it for like 2 hours a day max or something, like maybe you just wrote for 20 minutes that day, but for the other 24 hours in that day you are thinking about it. And you were thinking about what's going to happen next. You're thinking about the overall plot, the whole arc. Like you're thinking about, how am I going to get here? Like what kind of Easter egg should I plant? You can't help it. Like you're just thinking about it all the time. So basically you just live your life and you're thinking about the same book for months. You get bored. I've mentioned that I get bored to people who aren't writers, and they're like, oh, well, it must not be good. You don't understand. If you're thinking about the same thing for that long, you're gonna get bored. It doesn't mean that I don't love the story, I don't love the characters, I don't love the world. It doesn't mean that. It just means I'm bored. It's basically like if you read your favorite book over and over and over for 5 months straight every day, and over and over, so maybe like, you know, finished it in one day, you would have to also read it all night. I swear I dream about my book sometimes, but yeah, so do that and then tell me that you're not bored. It doesn't mean that you don't love that book as much as you did, but you're bored. Yeah, pushing through to finish a project was something that I had never really done, and it was fun to do that with something with no stakes, like my thriller, like, you know what I mean? Because that was just for me, and it was just really cool to see that I could do it. But anyways, if I'm going to be published, when I'm published, I want to write like young adult contemporary fiction, kind of romancy with a deeper message. That's kind of my niche that not the niche, but that's kind of like the vibe that I like when I read books, and that's the vibe that I'm going for. And so my supernatural thriller horror was not that vibe, so I didn't want to put that out there, because like for a debut novel you kind of just want to put something out there that's really captures the vibe that you're gonna bring. So that's where June Gloom came from. Well, June Gloom came before I even finished the thriller, but that's how June Gloom was selected. It was selected. Yeah, so that's what I've been working on lately. Another really long-winded answer. If you don't like long-winded answers, you're in the wrong place. Number 4 is what genres do you write? I kind of just said that. Like young adult, contemporary, so like modern day, fiction, which is, you know, not nonfiction, romancy vibes, but again, figured out like a month ago that a romance has to have a happy ending, so they're not technically romances because I hate a happy ending. I like a lesson. So if the book allows there to be a happy ending and a lesson, great. But sometimes it's not the case. Sometimes that's not the case. That's really what I like. I like a YA contemporary that's kind of fun to read. Like, I like to put my humor into my writing style. Like, my characters will be like cracking jokes. Like, if another character says something stupid, they'll think to themselves, oh my god. Like, I like to do a little humor, like a light, fun read, but I like there to be a message. Some sort of like theme that we touch on in the books. That's what I like. Like in June Gloom, I'll tell you what the theme is. I don't know if that's a spoiler. I don't think so. I think it's just intriguing. The theme is basically like, what would you do for love? And which is more important to you, love or friendship? And I guess you'll have to wait and see what, you know, the different characters decide. But I always thought that was a really interesting discussion point of like people who put romantic love and like relationships over their friendships. Like, you know that friend who gets a boyfriend and then ghosts you for months, and then they break up and they're like, hey, you want to hang out? And you're like, you literally forgot about me for like 9 months. What do you mean? I thought those people were really interesting, and so I really liked the idea of the theme being how different types of people handle that question of friendships or love, which is more important to you. Thought it was interesting. So that's what it is. I like a theme, kind of like a deep theme, but with a fun background. Question number 5 is preferred writing tense, so like third person, first person. I have a problem. I love writing in third person, but I realized I wrote the first 3 chapters of June Gloom in third person, and I was like, this isn't gonna work. Like, to have a book that has a little bit of humor and a little bit of fun, I feel like first person leans it, like, helps you a little bit with that, so I had to change it, and that's fine. I like either, I don't really care. I just think, my dog is barking, can you hear her? Definitely. But yeah, I don't really care, and it's kind of like just whatever book I'm writing, I just pick whichever is best for that book. I don't really care. I just love third person for some reason. It feels like I can be a little bit more deep and like philosophical in it. I don't know what that means. My thriller is written in third person, and that was good, I think, because, you know, I could describe the environment a little bit more. But with like a contemporary romance vibe, I feel like being in the character's head is a little better. So I just kind of pick whichever's better. I don't have a preference. Like with when I realized that June Gloom needed to be first person, I was like, okay. Like, I was annoyed that I had to rewrite the chapters that I wrote in third person, but I don't really care. My instinct is to write in third person though. I don't know why. Question number 6, are you a plotter or a pantser? Now, okay, is it pantser or pantster? Because I swear it's Mandela effect and everyone's saying pantser now, but I swear it was pantser this whole time. So I'm confused, but same difference. Are you a plotter or do you just kind of wing it? I am the most intense plotter you will ever meet. I have more plotting stages than I have editing stages at this point. I actually can show you some stuff from Gloom because I'm filming from my window and I have my like notes. Okay, that's blinding. I have my notes. Oh god, wait, is that spoilers? That's the outline. Don't read that. Like my literal outline right here. So I'll show you how crazy I am. I make a binder for every one of my books. I have a video on my channel. It's the first video on my channel, I think, where it's called, it's something about my writing space. I just made a whole video about how I organize all my writing stuff, but so I already talked about the binder, but I'll talk about it again. I make a binder for everything, and I have the genres and the categories. I'm gonna cover my characters. I made them an art reader. I do have an art reader tutorial on my channel if you want that, but I don't want you guys to see what they look like. Sorry, gatekeeping. And then I have like a character profile for each person with like their full name, their nicknames. Why do I need to know that? Don't know. Their age, their birthday, and star sign. That's important. Appearance, personality, family, hobbies, stuff like that. And then for this book specifically, there's multiple couples. So I have, don't read that. I have all the couples and like their trope and stuff like that. I have pictures from freaking Pinterest for like the town, just for vibes. And then I've got my outline, which I do by chapter, obviously. I am holding this really far back because I don't want anyone to see this, but this says chapter 17 because I'm currently on 16. I'm about to finish it. This is all I have left. And then I have chapter 17, and it's whoever's point of view the chapter is, because it's, my book is dual POV. And then a very detailed outline of everything that happens. It keeps going. Okay, finally we reached another chapter. But I literally also keep track of their outfits. I swear it's practical. Like, I'll write something, I'll be like, you know, I played with the hem of my shirt, and then 2 paragraphs later I'm like, I fiddled with my dress. It's like, what are you wearing, girl? Like, I swear the outfits is helpful. So to answer the question, I guess I like to plot a little bit. And the last question is, what videos can we expect on this channel? I have been posting for 5 months, so you could just go look at what videos I post. But basically, writing videos. I do writing tips. I want to do more writing vlogs. I just don't write very consistently, so it's hard for me to keep up a vlog. I also post reading videos. I'll do like tier ranking books I read, tier ranking book tropes. I have a little series going where I read bad reviews on books I read. I also posted a few lifestyle videos here and there. I've just done some like non-writing vlogs. I've done 1 or 2 makeup videos. I just kind of post whatever I want. Like I said earlier, I don't like to have a niche, but mostly I post about books, mine and other people's. Yeah, I guess that's all for this video. Wait, I might be posting this video the week that the Tortured Poets Department comes out. Not ready for that. Not ready for that at all. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope that this video maybe gave you a little insight into me as a writer, got to know me a little bit more. But yeah, I hope you have a really great day.